G'day everyone and welcome to my highlight video of the Waverley Model Railway Club's 41st annual exhibition held at the Brandon Park Community Centre. Genesis by the Waverley Model Railway Club. They say that in the beginning the railways were crude with vehicles that were made of timber and were moved by man or beast, moving small loads over short distances. Progress through the years saw development of canals and barges. Though slow, were able to carry much greater loads. The mines were birthplace of larger load-carrying vehicles. On the ever-improving trackways, the real birth of the railways occurred with the Industrial Revolution of the 1800s, and the availability of iron finally led to the birth of the steam locomotive and iron rails. Trains from the early 1800s through to the 1890s in this layout, and are a diverse group from around the world. Genesis is Waverley Model Railways Club's latest exhibition layout, made its debut on the weekend. It was kindly donated by its creator, John Beaton. I think it's amazing to see early era model railways at an exhibition. It's something that I think we definitely lack seeing. It had some fantastic scratch-built, ready-to-run early railway models. Crowd favourite as always was Rocket.
Yeah, no, it's like one after it. So I've never seen it, and then get right up next to it, and I'm like, this is nuts. It's the sheer scale of it is just mind-blowing.
Waverley's club layout Victoria Bridge, which is based on a prototype practice. Operated now by DCC, there is a double-track main line with associated marshalling yards and a branch line that connects various industries around the layout to main lines at the station. The featured bridge on the layout is based loosely on the Taradale Viaduct on the Melbourne to Bendigo line. All structures are either highly modified kits or scratch-built by the members. Locomotives and rolling stock are the Australian prototype, from the late steam period to modern diesels. Fortunately, both types of traction can be serviced at the locomotive depot.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that's the other side of it. Like, get there, rent a car, and then because I'd go and make. Yeah, you're all good. You're all good.
Collinsville Riverland Railway Company was built with a touch of modeller's license, and was modelled from original photos, plans and information of the tramways and trains and surroundings from all over Australia. Collinsville is a fictitious Australian coastal river port and is modelled in HO with broad gauge and N30 track. On the extension to the timber mill, they've incorporated Magna Rail to bring the roads to life. Track work for the layout was laid using Pico HO track for the broad gauge and Pico 009 points and SL300 flexi track, with most of the plastic sleepers removed and wooden handmade sleepers glued in place for the narrow gauge tramways. Collinsville is set in the early 1900s, and Colin has tried to obtain the feel of the life and times, hardships and engineering triumphs that our pioneers faced in the rugged terrain to obtain the resources from the forests and development of rural communities into prosperity. Little scenes throughout the layout tell a part of this story. As a side note, this layout is also available for sale, so if you do like what you see, you can contact Colin here.
Yeah. Right.
Brick City, which is a layout which is planned and pre-built before the show. The trains run on all plastic track, IR system powered from batteries. Some of the trains and buildings are Lego sets, and some are custom built. In Brick City you'll see both freight and passenger trains operating, some of which are based on real trains from around the world. The number of Lego bricks in this layout is unknown, but it is well into the tens of thousands. Grangers Bridge, Hillsborough, and Outback Return by the Waverley Model Railway Club. This is an N-scale modular layout. In the early days of the club, they had no permanent club rooms, and so exhibited layouts comprising of club members' private layouts. This layout is in that style and consists of 3 members' layouts. Unfortunately, one of them was out of action, but hopefully we get to see them return in a future exhibition. Brocklebank in Enscale, which is a line that represents the corner of the fictitious town of Exhampton and the neighbouring village of Brocklebank in the southwest of England. You'll see trains running up and down the layout as the scene may have looked in the 50s and the 60s, although there was quite a lot of modern rolling stock on it when I saw it, including this nuclear submarine fuel train. The layout consists of an up and down main line in a twisted figure 8 and a spur line to the village of Brocklebank.
Australia running round.
Go on, yeah.
The nuclear fast train.
Closing each other.
BYO, mate.
The Australian-Japanese Model Railway Group's Railways of Japan. A layout that I have covered a couple of times now, but it is always good to see in its slightly different forms. With an amazing amount of LEDs, and scenery changes, it is always one that I do enjoy seeing at an exhibition. Although it has been featured before, a crowd favourite, the Beachy by the Sunbury Model Railway Club, which is a fictitious On30 layout based on narrow gauge practices, as seen on the Beach Forest line in the Otway Ranges. Langweiss and Ronnie's Folly, number 3 by Ron Baker. These two layouts, which are situated next to each other, one is an imaginary summer and a winter layout with a Swiss theme. They were constructed with several objects in mind: lightweight, ease of storage and portability, simplicity of control, and all structures and material to be commercially available, to limit kit bashing and painting. Narrow gauge layout Milltown, located next to Grant McAdams' Art of the Diorama. This is a fantastic little narrow gauge layout with excellent detail depicting a logging town. Another layout that has been featured before was Hollow Glen, which is a fictitious English layout based around an old castle. As you enter the exhibition, you're greeted by a micro layout, Port Flora, which is a minimum space layout based on a classic shunting puzzle called an Inglenook. Operation consists of arranging freight wagons into sequence to simulate actual, though condensed, traffic patterns on a real railway. The setting is an urban Melbourne port, with a live export siding, amongst other forms of waterside-based industries. This is one of my favourite layouts, as always. I think the amount of detail that is in these micro layouts is fantastic, and it really gives us a good example of what can be achieved at home without having to take up a lot of room.
Maybe.
In terms of retailers at this exhibition, you had SDS Models, Train World, the Model Emporium, RW Hobby, Waverley Model Railway Club had a second hand stand, Brunel Hobbies, and a few others. So there we go, that was the exhibition. If you are interested in attending this exhibition, it does run annually on the Queen's Birthday long weekend in Melbourne. If you are interested in joining the Waverley Model Railway Club, I will leave all the appropriate links in the description below. Anyway, my favourite layout was probably Victoria Bridge because I am a little biased to Victorian railways. I think that layout is excellent, nice big open running and really well detailed. As well as that is Collinsville, nice freelance fictional layout. It's really beautifully done, and I hope that whoever purchases it does look after it and we still get to see it for many years to come. So what was your standout from the exhibition? Whether you attended or just watched this video, leave it in the comments section below. Anyway, if you do want to keep up with exhibition news and updates, don't forget you can check out my monthly news video, which does cover exhibitions. Anyway, don't forget to also be subscribed because that helps you keep up to date with all these kind of videos that are coming out all the time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all again really soon. Hooroo!
Just stopped it. Really hissing a bit. The wheels want to turn around a little bit.